Namaste and welcome. About a 40-minute practice today, maybe a little bit shorter. It seems to be like the response I'm getting on the channel. This is about the right amount of length of time for a class. So I'd still love to hear from you and I want to know what you have to say about it. If you'd like 60 minutes, if you'd like 30 minutes, if you'd like some beginners classes, I mean, whatever you want to see, this channel is all for you. So be in touch, make a comment, send me an email if you want. I'd love to hear from you. Right then, we're going to start in a seated position. We're going to be opening up the hamstrings, the lower back, really the whole back chain of the body. So get yourself comfy. We'll get cracking straight into it. As you arrive in your comfortable seated position, we'll shut down the eyes. As soon as the eyes shut down, let that kind of bring relaxation to the jaw, the shoulders, the ribs, the belly. Really give yourself a few moments to settle into your seated posture. Starting to bring a kind of openness to your awareness. Beginning to take on the quality of listening, not only with the ears, but also, I guess, with the mind. So this quality to kind of open up your perspective, to just absorb what's happening right now in the moment. Try not to push anything away or out. Just become fully aware of what's happening now. So it could be the temperature around you, sounds that are happening. It might be sensations through the body, states of mind, thought patterns, really whatever's arriving in your awareness. It's just simply that, you're aware of it. No reaction needed. A moment in stillness, observing rather than analyzing. And so hopefully, immediately we're creating a sense of spaciousness. And it's this quality of mind that becomes fairly important throughout the practice. To have a broad awareness, to sort of listen, observe, and just really take in what's happening. And so we open up a channel of communication with ourselves. Kind of funnel this focus to the self through the breath. So here, pretty immediately starting to take some slower, deeper breaths, expanding down towards your belly space, letting that naturally rise up into the chest, and letting your exhale just start to slow down a little. There's a good chance it'll take several rounds just to kind of warm up the breathing muscles. That's your diaphragm, some of the rib cage, and really the elasticity of your lungs. And then begin to elongate your breath to around about a 6-second breath. So breathing in for 6, breathing out for 6. Just take you one more round with that. and to follow. Drop the count, but maintain the pace. Use that as a general reference point for the rest of practice. This kind of slowness, depth, and really an ease within the breath. And we'll start to build some postures around the breath. So the center of your physical alignment is your breathing pattern. We'll keep it in mind. For now, blink open the eyes and begin to raise the arms up towards the ceiling. Reach up nice and high. And then twisting over to your right. So right hand behind your lower back, left hand catches the thigh. Lifting through the lower back, just for 2 breaths here maybe. Back through center, raising the arms up. And then twisting the other direction. Left hand behind the lower back, right hand to the thigh. Now one more time, over to the other side. So raising the arms up. Twisting over to the right once again, but as soon as you catch your knee or your thigh, raise your right hand, the one that's behind your lower back, raise that up towards the ceiling and reach over into a side bend here. Just taking a few big breaths here, not pushing, not straining at all. Raising the arms straight up, twisting the other way, so over to your left. Right hand catches the thigh, rolling back the shoulder, and then, as you're ready, raising the left arm up into a little side bend there. Just one more big breath as you are. Raising both arms up just momentarily to then roll over the knees and come into tabletop onto all fours and get straight into cat-cow from there. So inhale to press the belly down. Exhale to raise and arch up through your spine. And you keep on going. Inhale dips the belly. Exhale arches, raises the spine. You go ahead and take a few more, but really trying to systemize your breathing with the movement. Synchronous breathing and movement together. Just maybe 2 to 3 more rounds here. Nice fluid action of the spine, rolling and rounding from one end to the other. Next time you arch your upper back, pause in this sort of angry catch at this rounded spine. Tuck the toes and lift the knees just 1 inch above the ground. Holding here now, baby steps, stepping back into plank. We'll go slow. Right foot steps back just a little, still hovering the knees. And then the left, and then the right, and then the left. We're just about in plank. Keeping the upper back rounded, full plank now for 1 more big breath. And lifting the hips up into downward facing dog. As you arrive there, pedaling out the legs a little, bending through one knee and then the other. A couple of breaths here. And beginning to walk the hands towards the back of your mat until you land in a forward fold. Relaxing through the neck, especially here. Make a little bit of movement, swaying from side to side, from left to right a few times. Getting into the legs with, again, a deep sense of awareness. So now the sensations of the posture are kind of informing you how to nurture best. Just take 1 or 2 more breaths. And then gently bend the knees and roll up your spine all the way through to standing. Reach the arms up at the top nice and high, nice and tall. And then folding straight back down, bringing the hands to the ground. Walking the hands out to plank position, shoulders above your wrists. Find that distance, and then take a little bend into the knees and slide the hips back and up into down dog. And we roll straight into high plank from there. Little bend in the knees as you head back and up. Let's do 2 more. Plank, rounding, bending, sending the hips back. This time, hit high plank and lower the knees to the floor to then come all the way down until you're flat onto your belly. Arriving there, take the hands off the side of the mat, roll through cobra. Inhale, chest lifts up. And the exhale takes it down. We're just going to keep on going, keep on going. I'm just going to do one round of this, so we'll get some real repetition into it. But again, let the fluidity build a little. Just take a few more, lifting and lowering. One more round now. Full round, lift and lower. Maybe just a little higher on the chest. And then as the chest comes down now, push back through tabletop, all fours, and into downward facing dog once again. From downward dog, starting to walk your hands again back towards the feet, immediately bending into your knees, rolling up the spine through to standing. Reach the arms up, and then interlace the hands behind the lower back, roll back the shoulders here, lift the chest, and again folding forward. Chest coming right down towards the thighs, but the bend in the knees can be really deep here. Relax the neck, take 2 more big breaths here. Releasing the hands to the floor. Now you go gently here, but we're coming straight through a flow. If you want to drop your knees, do that. Otherwise, high plank to chaturanga. Up dog, pull the chest through the arms. And into downward facing dog to lift up your hips. Let's take a breath or 2 more there in down dog. A nice easy step to the top of the mat, feet towards your hands. Take a halfway lifted inhale. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to stand all the way up, reach for the ceiling. One more round of sun salutation here, a vinyasa flow, folding forward. Halfway lift, flatten out. Step back to plank position, and as you shift body weight forward for chaturanga, bend the elbows. Up dog, pull the chest through the arms, and into downward facing dog once again. An extra breath or 2, keeping it nice and considerate on the breath. And again, feet towards the hands to the top of your mat. Walk, step, or jump now. Take a halfway lift, flatten out your back. Exhale to fold. Inhale to stand all the way up, reach up nice and big. And exhale to fold all the way back down towards the ground. Halfway lift, and now the left foot steps back, runner's lunge. Puff the chest out onto fingertips and raise the right hand up into simple twist. From this shape, really strengthen the back leg and make sure the chest is turning towards the ceiling, but not necessarily the hips moving at all. We'll just take 2 more breaths here. And then gently lowering the back knee to the floor. Exalt this shape. So reach the left hand up and back as the right hand slides down the back of the thigh. Squeezing the left butt cheek here for maybe just 2 more breaths. And then gently raising both arms up. Tuck in the back toes here. Find a nice fluid movement. Straighten through the front leg and throw the hands back into a half Hanuman variation. We'll do this 2 more times. Bend the front knee, raise up, reach up, and exhale. Throw the hands back as you fold in. 1 more, coming up. And exhale, throwing back to fold, and then we hold. Fold and hold. So front heel coming forward, just a little bit for half Hanuman. And relaxing the shoulders, the neck, the jaw. Settling in so there's a deep state of presence within the shape. You're aware of it, you're feeling it, you're working with it. Just taking a couple more breaths here in half Hanuman. Looking for a nice fluid movement. Walking the hands forward through runner's lunge, raise the right hand into simple twist, and find side plank. The right leg stepping back on top of the left, lifting up the hips. Taking just another breath here as you are. And as the right hand comes down, switch it over to the other side, into side plank. On the other side, left hand up and towards wild thing. The left foot steps behind the leg, lifting the hips, turning the chest, A big breath here. And then one nice fluid action. As the left hand comes down, cross your left leg under the body and tap the right elbow. Shoot the leg up. A palm print back might be good there as you come through a three-legged flow. High plank to low plank, up dog, finds downward facing dog. Lifting up the hips. A breath or two there in down dog. And then walk, step or jump to the top of your mat. Halfway lift inhale. Fold back in. Inhale, stand and reach up. Nice and big. And then folding straight back in. Halfway lift now. And the right foot steps back. Left hand raising up into a simple twist. Back leg remaining really firm, really strong. A couple of breaths over here. Make sure the front knee remains above the ankle, not winging out to the side. Breath or two more now. And then keeping the shape of the arms, drop the back knee down. Exalt the shape so the bottom hand reaches up and back. Just for a couple of breaths. Left hand sliding down the thigh, reaching nice and high up. And then raising both arms up towards the ceiling. Tuck in the back toes now. Straighten through your front leg. Throw the hands back into half Hanuman. Inhale, raise the arms, bend the knee, low lunge, reach up. And exhale, throw it back to fold. One more, coming up, lunge. And this time, hold and stay in half Hanuman. Folding. Again, adjusting the heel as you need to. Softening the shoulders, softening the neck. Settling into a nice rhythm of breath. Two to three more here. So tucking the back toes and looking for a nice fluid movement. As you bend the front knee, simple twist finds side plank straight away. Left leg back on top of the right. Stack them up and lift the hips there. Big breath in as you are. And switch. Left hand down, right hand comes up. Wild things on its way. Right foot behind the leg. Turn the hips, lift the chest. Big breath here. And then nice transition as the right hand comes down. Scoop the right knee under the body and tap the left elbow. Inhale, shoot the leg up. We come through a flow. High plank to low plank. Up dog. Finds downward facing dog. One big breath there and down dog. Then walk, step or jump to the top of your mat. Feet towards your hands. Halfway lift, flatten out your back. Fold in. Stand tall, reach for the ceiling, nice and big. Lifting, lifting. And then folding straight back in. Now the left foot steps back and finding pyramid pose. So straightening through the front leg, folding forward. In this pyramid in particular, sink the back heel into the floor and get into the calf a little more. So as you do that, really encourage the strength of the left thigh there, even if it means bending the front knee just a little. Soften the shoulders here. Take just a couple more breaths now. Looking for a fluid movement here. Bend the front knee, reach the arms out in front of you. And as you start to stand up, circle the right arm back so you're in a twisted lunge with a T shape. Flip the front palm and reach up and back. And as you bow forward now, hook your left elbow around the front knee, hands come together. I like to shimmy my back foot back a little just so I can get the strength and straightness of the back leg. And then the twist can deepen quite a lot from there with the stability in the hips and the legs. So pressing the right hand into the left, taking just two more big breaths as you are. Starting to shift a little body weight forward so the knee is coming forward of the front toes. And when you're ready, tap your left knee to right calf. Little tricky. Stay for one more big breath here. And standing splits, hands to the ground. Punch the left leg up towards the ceiling. Hold, very short hold, I promise. 2 more big breaths, strong kick. Warrior 2, step the foot down, open the arms, straighten through your front leg, reach up and back, reverse the shape. And then reaching forward for triangle. So keep the legs straight, front knees just off lock, reach out. Bring the right hand down to the shin or down to the floor and starting to turn the top shoulder back a little here. Breathing, holding, staying. 2 to 3 more breaths. Again, back thighs nice and firm. Start to bend the front knee just a little and stand up. Flip the front palm, reach up and back, reverse the shape. Coming back into Warrior 2, interlace the hands behind the lower back. We're going to rejig the feet for Humble Warrior. The front foot, heel toes out, back toes turn in, puff up the chest, and then bow deeply inside the front leg. Chest coming down, breathing here, holding here. 3 to 4 more breaths at least. Try and keep them nice and long on the exhalation so they're making an impact. Let's keep moving. Hands to the ground inside the front foot. A brief stop through a squat. Left foot outside your left hand. Drop the butt down. Chest up. Just 2, maybe 3 breaths here. Hands to the floor. Left foot steps back, keeping the right foot just where it is, just as it is, into lizard lunge. Puff the chest out just for 1 more breath here. Now strong shoulders, we find side plank. So step your right leg back on top of the left, right hand raises up, hold here for 1 more big breath. Just as we did before, switch it over. Right hand comes down, left hand comes up, side plank, other side, followed by wild thing. Left foot steps behind the leg, lift the hips, lift the chest. 1 more breath here. And then stepping the left foot up between the hands for Crescent Lunge. Arms up. Here we go. A little more work. Sweep the arms back, arrowhead. Right knee to the chest and stand up with it. Now 1 of 2 choices. Either grab the right knee or the big toe for hand to foot pose and kick the heel out in front of you, left hand up. But if you've got the knee, don't just let it rest in the hand. Really try and squeeze the knee in. Get tall and lifted here. 2 more big breaths. Nice and graceful here. Send the right leg out the back as the hands come down to the floor and step into runner's lunge, a 3-legged flow. So this front foot lifts up and out to 3-leg dog. High plank, come forward. Keep it up, chaturanga. 2 feet to the ground, up dog. And into downward facing dog to follow. 1 more breath there in dog. Walk, step or jump to the top of the mat. Heels up, knees bent. Walk, step or jump. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold back in. Stand and reach up, nice and big. And again, folding straight back down towards the ground. Now, the right foot steps back. Straightening through the front leg and folding. Relaxing through the shoulders just a little. Steady up your breathing. Three to 4 more deep breaths here. All right, nice bit of fluidity here. As you bend the front knee, reach the arms out in front of you. Left arm circles back as you stand up. Flip the front palm and reach up and back into this exalted twisted lunge. And as you bow forward, hook your right elbow around the front knee. Again, the back leg is getting really straight, really long. Left hand pushing into the right one and turning the chest back. We stay for just a few more breaths here now. Stay with it, steady legs. Now shifting body weight forward just a little. So the front knee needs to come forward with the toes, and then tap the right knee to left calf, hold for a brief moment. Hands to the floor, standing splits, extend, kick the leg up nice and hard. A breath or two here more. And warrior two, step back, open the arms. Keep moving, flip the front palm up and back, straighten through the front leg. And reaching forward. Before you go down into triangle, take the front knee off lock, pull the belly in, and then bring the left hand down, right hand up. Little turn back on the chest here. Whole lot of breath. Steady, steady breathing. All right, one more big breath. Standing up, bending the front knee just a little as you exalt the shape, left hand up and back. And then coming back into warrior two, bending the front knee, interlacing hands behind the lower back, front foot out to the edge, back toes turning in, chest lifts up, and then bow forward deeply inside the front leg. Hands lifting, so really opening the chest here. 2, maybe 3 more breaths. Good hold. Hands to the floor, up to a squat. Right foot outside your right hand. Drop your butt down, chest up. Couple of breaths there. Hands to the floor. A brief stop through lizard. So as the right foot steps back, puff the chest on fingertips. Big breath here. Side plank. So you can keep both hands down as we step the left leg back on top of the right, raising the left arm up, holding. One more breath there. And then switch it over. Left hand comes down, right hand moves up. Wild thing to follow. Turn the chest, lift the hips. Couple of breaths. Right foot steps between the hands or thereabouts, up to the top of the mat. Arms up, crescent lunge. Last little bit of work here. Exhale, sweep the arms back, arrowhead. Left knee to chest as you stand up. So either catch a hold of the knee or grab the big toe. I'm going to go with knee today. I think it's a pretty nice shape, even if you're capable of grabbing the toe. Just to pull the knee in, it's quite deep. Either way you go with it. 2, maybe 3 breaths. And send the leg out the back as the hands come down. Runner's lunge, 3-leg flows on its way. Front foot lifts up. High plank, come forward. Chaturanga. Up dog, pull the chest through. Down dog, lift the hips. And pretty much straight away from down dog, sliding the right shin up into half pigeon. Right shin comes up. Moving the chest forward and then down to soften here. So in this half pigeon, as you arrive, we get a whole lot more time within the shape to find a sense of spaciousness. In the dynamic aspect of the practice, the movement, the heavy kind of movement aspect, you're coordinating your balance quite a lot. You're listening to me, you're watching the thing. A lot's going on. Here, as you hit these sort of floor postures, a bit more stretchy, way more opportunity to infuse these subtle qualities of the yoga practice into it, like intention, mood, attitude. So as you get into these postures, really hold the body dearly. Your state of mind, your quality of attention has an intimacy, a sense of nourishment, nurturing about everything that you're doing. So, a kind of loving presence to your body here. Try and take a handful of breaths and really let the breath do the majority of the work. Two more breaths now. As you lift up the chest, come back to down dog and do something that feels good, but it's going to be different on the other side, so don't do anything crazy. I mean, take a flow if you want to, just know that it won't be the same on the other side. I'm just going to shake out the leg, give a nice little release, and then when you're ready, we'll hit the other side. So left shin coming forward, lifting the chest a moment, and then bringing the chest forward, then down as you get into the other side. Again, the initial moments are kind of about the superficial tension of the body releasing. But then after that, as you release your eyes and your jaw, you settle into a bit more heaviness and surrender. Then you can coordinate your breathing. You can start to have an influence on subtle intention, like the quality of your attention in the moment. And that intimacy kind of returns to it, or a loving kind of presence. Breath or two more here. As the chest lifts up, this time swing the back leg around to the top of the mat and go ahead and take the legs out nice and wide. So you might turn sideways on your mat like me, but you might sit on something as well. Chest lifts up and then walking the hands out in front of you to then bring the chest forward and down. So maybe staying on hands is a good place to be, but definitely the chest is tipped forward and the head might hang. Maybe the elbows or even beyond that. Do try and keep your feet lifted so the ankles have a bit of tension in them. The shins kind of activate and maybe even the thighs a touch. We'll stay here for at least 10 breaths all linked together. next breath or so, lifting up the chest, drawing the legs together and rolling down onto your back. As soon as you're down on your back, we'll come through a round of bridge with the potential for wheel. If you'd rather be in supported bridge with a block and you have one, please feel free to do that. Otherwise, feet on the ground, tilt the tailbone up, and start to lift the hips up towards the ceiling. And from here, you might just take a few moments. If you're thinking about wheel, place the hands next to your ears and press the chest up and back. Staying there for breath. Another one or two more. Then gently coming down, lowering the hips and dropping the knees from side to side a couple of times. And we're wrapping your right leg over your left one, dropping the legs down to the left into a twist. Right shoulder opens out nice and broadly. Settling into some sort of sweetness of breath. So just holding the notion of the breath as being a kind of delicate, very powerful, and really sweet aspect to the practice. Two more breaths here. Back through center, over to the other side. Left leg wraps over the right one. Switch it up. Take the unit over. Total relaxation through your belly. Left shoulder softening. Inhale back up through the center. Take a moment and then hug your knees in towards your chest, or even find happy baby before you then bring yourself down towards Shavasana. I'll leave you with Shavasana, but I really encourage you to take at least a couple of minutes here to find stillness. As much as we recognize the importance of movement, we recognize the importance of stillness, and maybe in this day and age it's more important. So really try and give yourself some time. Even lifting the legs up the wall might be a beautiful way to take this shape. I'll sign off here. Much love to you, always appreciated. I'll see you next time. Namaste.